Hey guys, what's cracking? Welcome back to the channel. For today's product report, we'll be talking about the latest smartphone from Realme in the Philippines, the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G. This device was released sometime in March, to which I've been using extensively as my daily driver, and in this video we'll be talking about the overall experience based on my usage for the past few weeks. So we're going to kick this off with the unboxing experience. Now before diving in, the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G comes in two color variants: pearl white and suede gray. And unlike in different market regions and is considering of getting the Realme Pro Plus 5G, for the Philippines, there's only one storage configuration. In other regions, there is a 128 or 256 with 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM respectively. So inside we have a welcome packet which contains the user guided manual as well as the SIM ejector pin. It also comes with a complimentary jelly case, which I personally appreciate because I'm done using those transparent silicone type cases. We have a Type-C cable for charging and data transfer, as well as the 80-watt Super VOOC fast charger in the box. So here we have the device itself front and center. This is the suede gray color variant. The pearl white color variant is the one that actually changes in color depending on the temperature, but for the suede color variant, this is more of a minimalist design choice. It is a textured back, so you can really feel that velvety feel on your palm, but essentially this doesn't have any color shifting features. For those wondering, yes, the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G comes with a pre-installed screen protector. The one you're seeing on camera, however, isn't the original one. I had it replaced because it was scratched up, but I had to install some form of hydrogel to just give it that clean look. Though I personally would actually prefer tempered glass, but because of the curvature of the screen, then this is what we have to work with. Probably something worth mentioning in terms of the overall build and design of the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G is the fact that it does feel quite the solid smartphone. There is no creaking or bending, it just feels great in the hand. It is slightly on the heavy side, not entirely, but if you're used to super lightweight smartphones, then this might be a bit of an adjustment, but if you're used to heavy smartphones, then this feels right at home. Now the real star of the show is the triple camera configuration found at the back. This consists of a 50 megapixel wide lens, a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Now we will be talking about the camera later on in this video, but I just would like to stress and point out that I'm a big fan on what Realme did with this design choice. As you can see, in between each lens there is a corresponding LED, and it is perfectly positioned in between each lens, literally maximizing the overall layout of the camera. This is something you don't normally see with other smartphones. So now let's talk about the display. So the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G comes with a 6.83 inch quad curved OLED display. This is rocking a 2800 by 2272 resolution that can go up to 1200 nits peak brightness and supports a high refresh rate of 120 Hz with a touch sampling rate of 240 Hz, which means in a general sense, if you'll be using this device for gaming or for social media or literally just you being a powerhouse in multitasking, all of the animations that you'll be seeing on screen will be giving you a flagship experience. I'm not saying this is a flagship phone, but based on the screen's configuration, it'll give you just that. For added context, the 14 Pro Plus does give you the option to choose between auto select, standard at 60 Hz which conserves battery, or set it to high at a maximum refresh rate of 120 Hz for a smoother animation experience. This of course would consume more battery, but then again, the Pro Plus 5G comes with a 6000 mAh battery. That's actually one of the few devices in 2025 that is rocking a battery size that is bigger than the norm and still supports Super VOOC fast charging, or 80 watts fast charging for that matter. One uptake with the battery of the 14 Pro Plus 5G is the fact that despite having a 6000 mAh battery, Realme was generous enough to still give you that added control on how you can actually preserve the battery and make your device last longer. There is also what we call a GD mode, which basically enhances the overall battery performance when doing demanding tasks, especially when it comes to gaming. So this is a toggle switch which you can just turn on and off depending on when you need it. And again, it's something worth mentioning because you might actually consider using this in the future. On a side note, the 14 Pro Plus 5G does come with the latest iteration of Realme's UI based on Android 15, which means you have the latest and greatest of what Android has to offer in 2025. And if you are the type who is very much worried about how much space is being consumed by these updates, you'll be glad to know that because the Realme 14 Pro Plus only comes with one storage configuration, that is 512 gigabytes worth of goodness. which means you can jam in as much files and videos and games as you'd like, and you still have basically half a terabyte of storage to play with. I personally just use 128 for the most part, so having to have 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage is more than welcome, as it gives me a lot more legroom to stretch, work with, and play with. Now, of course, if you are the type who is such a power user and you feel like 12 gigabytes of RAM is not enough, Realme decided to throw in the additional RAM expansion feature by having to up the ante in increasing the amount of RAM by using a portion of your storage and using it as a virtual RAM of up to 14 gigabytes. Some people might say that it's not really impacting. Personally, I don't really care, because 12 plus 14, that's a massive amount of RAM, and given that I have 512 gigabytes of storage, I don't think 14 gigabytes would really make a huge dent storage-wise, considering that I personally just use 128. But of course, if you are the conservative type and you just want to make sure that your device is running smoothly, there is an added optimization function on your Realme device called the Performance Booster. Basically what this does is it clears out any resources that are currently used in allowing it to free up space or memory to give more importance to whatever it is that you're currently doing at that point in time. It's kind of like how you would clear out any applications on standby on a work computer to give way for more RAM management with other applications. Now, one of the main reasons why a lot of people are considering of getting a new smartphone in 2025 is mainly because of AI. So AI is kind of like the new thing when it comes to smartphones, because it basically enhances how you use your phone on the daily. And I would be happy to report that the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G also has some of those amazing AI features, which is found usually with the more expensive competition. One of which would be Circle to Search, to which then gives you the ability to circle out a certain object on whatever's on screen, and Google Gemini will then do its job by searching more information about that product. That's something worth mentioning, because a lot of people are paying big money just for a smartphone that can do just that. Now you have the capacity to actually own a very affordable smartphone and capable overall performance with AI functionality. Now, on a side note, the 14 Pro Plus 5G from Realme does come with an added feature, which is what they call the mini capsule. So this feature basically gives you additional means of interacting with certain applications to give you information when you need it. For example, when you're going to be charging your device, you will get a notification pop-up near the front-facing camera. This then gives you the impression on how much battery is being charged up already, or if it's about to get charged up, or if you're running low on battery. Another example would be the timer. So the timer basically gives you an animation of an hourglass, as well as an actual countdown timer that you can see in real time. Now, I personally have not tried out every single application in the market if they do cater to this particular feature, but so far in my testing, I've seen it work flawlessly with the battery and the timer. Now, as far as gaming is concerned, I did manage to play a few game titles on the Realme 14 Pro Plus, and because I have 512 gigabytes of storage, I did manage to download every single package, patch, update available for every single game with no stress. Internal wise, this device comes rocking a Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 processor. This is paired with the Adreno 710 with 12 gigabytes of RAM plus the 14 gigabytes virtual RAM. In my experience in playing Diablo Immortal, it actually did handle the game relatively well. I was able to crank up the graphics to a high setting, and I was able to enjoy all of the special effects on screen with no hiccups. There were some parts where there was just really too much going on screen that there was a bit of a judder, but overall the performance was very much enjoyable. I could actually spend 2-3 hours playing Diablo Immortal on the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G with no stress whatsoever. With games like Call of Duty Mobile, however, pretty much the same boat. I was able to crank up the graphics to high settings on multiplayer mode, and even in its third-person view mode, the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G was able to handle the game flawlessly. There was really no lag, no stress whatsoever. You can really see all the graphics shining through the screen. And that to me is a big thing because it basically defeats the perception of a lot of people thinking that because of its design, the majority would think it's just a camera phone. But because of its internals and how it's configured, not only do you have a device that can work well in terms of photography, which we'll be talking about in a bit, but it can also handle gaming flawlessly. Alright, so in terms of photography or videography or the camera in general with the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G, just a quick refresher, this comes with a 50 megapixel lens, a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Added functionalities, this can capture videos in 4K at 30 FPS, 1080p at 30, 60 or 120 FPS, and also supports optical image stabilization. So this combination alone is basically what you would consider as a complete package for those who are into photography or is an aspiring photographer and would want to invest further with mobile photography. So for this test, I did consider dropping by one of the local tourist spots in Metro Manila, where I did put the Realme 14 Pro Plus to the test by capturing random images, photos, videos of all the animals that are available. And with my honest opinion, the camera performance is actually amazing. So to conclude this review video, the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G is priced at 27,990 pesos. That is one of the most affordable smartphones I've seen so far in the market that has this actual configuration going on. And you basically get all the core essential features and accessories in one box. For the price, there's really not much to complain about. This is the proper way on how you would evolve a very successful product lineup. Now, if you'd like to check out more content about the 14 Pro Plus 5G, I'll be uploading them on my website pretty soon. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram for future uploads. But in any case, if you've managed to reach to this very point in the video, I do appreciate your time and patience. If you found this video helpful and helped you in considering getting the Realme 14 Pro Plus 5G as your next smartphone in 2025, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or inquiries, or probably what color variant you got. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next.